Hey everyone, this is Barno here from AfterTaste Movies, and this is this week's AfterTaste movie review of the Universal Pictures film 1917. 1917 is directed and written by Sam Mendes, who previously worked on Spectre and Skyfall, which I believe were the last two James Bond films, and it stars George McKay as Lance Corporal Schofield, and it also stars Dean Charles Chapman as Lance Corporal Blake, and they are two British soldiers who are called in to the general's presence and given a task beyond measurable impossibilities. Just the scariest thing in the world. It kind of sounded like they are tasked with the mission to deliver a message across enemy lines to stop just an ill-timed and an ill-planned attack on the German forces that ultimately would cost the lives of over 1,600 men and the brother of Lance Corporal Blake. From there, the movie just takes off like a bullet, and just they venture off against all odds across enemy lines, and it really shows a beautiful sense of the human spirit. The first thing I want to mention in this film is the cinematography. The cinematography and the DP of this film was Roger Deakins, he's my favorite cinematographer going right now, probably besides Larry Sher. He has a special look about his films that is unlike anything that you see on screen anywhere else. He won an Oscar a couple years ago for Blade Runner 2049, which was just mind-blowing, and this film is no different. The movie is shot and edited as a one-shot type of film, which means it was almost entirely shot from the perspective of just the two soldiers. Did not venture anywhere out. It was just what they saw is what we saw and what we did. When you do something like that, it brings full perspective into the world. It really drives home stakes. It really you're really with these soldiers and in their minds the entirety of the movie, and it's really uncanny when they trek through the mud and trek through the trenches and all of that. You really feel like you're there with these two soldiers as they fight against all these odds. And the fact that it is a one shot, the fact that it was done so well brings it beyond just the fact that, oh yeah, cool, one shot. It transcends, and it makes the movie dramatically better than it could have been any other way. And really, the awful cost of war is unimaginable, but the film really does it has a good effect of letting us into that world for the cinematic purpose at the very least. The film also does a very good usage of its known stars. Since it is a one shot and from the perspective of these two people, it's really not. You don't really get more than like a minute with the other people you might know of. Colin Firth, as I mentioned, he was the general that sent them off on their mission. Benedict Cumberbatch played the corporal that they were trying to stop from going into the battle. Along the way, they meet up with Mark Strong. Country Roads, Take Me Home. Mark Strong. He had a couple good moments there, and in the end they meet up with Richard Mann, and he just has one of the most emotional scenes of the entire film. And they do a really good. They have these highlighted moments during the film that they know that they need to hit strong, and that's why they brought in these talented actors. Also, something I want to mention is the sound design. A movie that's shot in a one-shot type of way would not succeed if the sound design was not up to the level of what they were doing. The bullets, you could hear them whiz past your ear. You could feel and hear the sound of the mud when the boots hit the ground. The explosions, you felt it. The sound design was so special in this film, and it's up for an Oscar. Sound design, sound mixing, 1917. And it very, very deserves it. It's fantastic, and there's no way that they could succeed unless they both hit on full levels, and they did. Cinematography and on sound, they hit marvelously. I'm not a huge fan of war films. I'll say that. And this one really stuck with me, however. This one I can't wait to go see in theaters again. It's just the craft of filmmaking at its highest level in all regards. Acting, sound, picture, design, all of it. It hits on all levels, and it's really one of the special movies I've seen over the last couple years that's gonna stand the test of time for a very long time. And I highly recommend it. Go out, check it out. It's nominated for many Oscars in the next couple weeks. Best Picture, Best Director, Best Cinematography, Best sound editing. Like 7 or 8 different ones. It's definitely worth your time. I recommend it to everybody. It's a little rough. It's not for your kids. But it is something special that I think a lot of people should see. So that's going to be it for our movie review this week. Check us out on our YouTube channel, on the Maybe It's a Network channel, and also on podcast form on all other places, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Google Play. We are on Patreon as well. Check us out on there. Patreon.com/AfterTaste Movies. And that'd be great if you could check us out on there. Anything you could help would be great. And that's it for today. I'm signing out today. Happy movies, and have a good rest of your week.